Dyes from lichen. Dyes are obtained from both vegetative as well as animal sources. Plants, both angiospermic plants, fungi, and lichen, we can obtain dyes from them. But also animals like the cochineal insect, another predatory snail in the Mediterranean Sea. All the dyes were also obtained from this type of animals. But as we know that in earlier time, lichen was obtained from vegetative or animal source. So very little amount of lichen was produced, and it was also taking a long time to extract the dyes from this type of animal or plant. So apart from being very costly, it was also very time consuming, and also very small amount of dyes were obtained. So in earlier times, the dyes were very expensive. Also, dyes were not that much resistant to sunlight. But gradually, due to the improvement of our science, um, dyes were now produced artificially also, and these are very the artificial dyes are not time consuming. They are very time efficient, they are economical, and now we can obtain very cheap dyes from artificial sources. So, before going to what are the dyes and what from lichens, or what are the lichens that produces which color of dye, we should before discussing this, then let me have a brief um overview about what are the plants or animals from which we can obtain dyes. I mean, not it is very much not prevalent in these days, but it was used traditionally by our the traditional by the tribal or the original people of various regions. And one of the most common dye obtained from plant source is an indigo. This indigo dye obtained from the leaf of indigo plant is a colorant of both textile and even in wood, or also it is it is a natural dye that is also used in various source of painting. Actually, this indigo is mixed with various other things like ash to obtain some different colors also. So apart from indigo, the leaves of other plants are also dried and powdered to obtain green color. Also, some floral parts were dried to obtain different colors. So, apart from the leaves and flowers, dye were also obtained from the hardwood of trees. And among animal from which we can obtain dyes are cochineal insect, and also some Mediterranean snails, from which this dye was obtained. Also, sometimes dyes were obtained from rock. Also, the lake sediments, which contains, if it contains some colorful sediment, lake sediments or rock were also used. For example, if the rock is rich in iron, then we can easily obtain red color from it. So, hello friends, I am Mayantika, and in this video I'll be discussing some facts about what are the dyes and what are the lichens from which dyes are obtained. Now, as we know that this type of dye production from lichen, that is not much prevalent these days, because the amount of dye obtained from lichen is very small, and also the lichens, they have a very slow growth rate, and also they are very sensitive to air pollution. As they are sensitive to air pollution, and they prefer growing in open forest because they need to photosynthesize. So the sensitivity to air pollution, the exact very narrow range of environmental condition in which it can grow. So all these, considering all these factors, we can say that dye collection from lichen, it is traditional though, but it is very expensive and not so prevalent. But however, we should also learn what are the lichens from which various type of dyes are obtained. Now, dyes are obtained from lichen by mainly three processes. One is using ammonia and using boiling water, or using dimethyl sulfonate. And using ammonia is actually, earlier it was used for used either soaking the lichen in urine for say 1 month, and all this ammonia, dimethyl sulfonide and boiling water, all this process usually took 1 month of soaking in either ammonia or boiling water or dimethyl sulfonide. 1 month was minimum for production of this dye. And after the materials, the lichen is soaked in these type of chemicals for 1 month, then the dye obtained is used for either dyeing different type of materials. Say for example, wool, very common in wool, for silk material, for other type of fibers, even dyeing leathers and quill. The ancient native Indians of America, they used to dye this dye. Even in the Scandinavian countries like Sweden, people traditionally they used to obtain color from this lichen. Lichen, they are usually collected very carefully, because most of the lichen, they contain one or other secondary products that are allergic, that produces either inflammation or itching sensation. So while collecting the lichens, one should be very careful. This lichen, they are either pre-soaked or they are dried and then soaked in water, ammonia, vinegar, or any chemical. But if we want to have a very light color, we do it by soaking fresh lichen. But if we want to have very dark shade of a color, then we usually dry it and use it. After drying, we soak it in the chemical, whether ammonia or boiling water. So these are the three processes like for dye production. And sometime after dye production, the dye is pulverized and stored as a powder. So we will be discussing a few lichens from which we can obtain dye matter. So one thing, this lichen dye, just like the other chemical dye, does not need any mordant to fix the color. Usually, most of the dyes, whether vegetative source or artificial source, they require a metallic ionic mordant to fix the color. But here in case of lichen, we do not need any type of mordants. So, the first lichen that we are going to discuss is Bryonia fremonti. Also, it is called the horsehair lichen. Sometimes it is also called the black moss because of the dark color. This black moss or horsehair lichen, it usually it is saxicolous, that is, it grows on the bark of mostly coniferous tree, and it prefers it prefers very dry condition, because also very open forest, because it requires more sunlight for photosynthesis. So it prefers dry and open canopies. Open canopies are those forest area that have very low density of trees. So this Bryonia fremonti, it is found in the temperate as well as subtropical region of both the Old World and New World, that is Asia, Europe and North America. This lichen, as we know that it prefers very dry environment, so it is very hardy. This Bryonia fremonti, we can obtain green dye from this Bryonia fremonti. But other species of Bryonia also produces dye, but they are of different color like yellow or brown. Apart from being used as a dye, this Bryonia fremonti, it is used as a food material, as a forage material for flying squirrels, carabao deer, and also it is a nesting material for bird. The green and as well as the yellow or brown dye from Bryonia is due to vulpinic acid. This vulpinic acid is a pigmented material, but also it is very toxic. Bryonia fremonti. So this Bryonia fremonti, it is used for dyeing both textile as well as quills by the ancient Indian people of America, native Indian people of America. Next is Cladonia. Cladonia, Rangifera or other species of Cladonia are collectively called reindeer lichen. This is due to the fact that they are foraged by reindeer, and this Cladonia, this is actually a Fructicos Lichen. It is not pendulent, but it is upright and shrubby, and they have a wide range of habitat, that is growing from either rock or soil and even in a sand dune. So we can see that it can grow both in the temperate region as well as in the desert climate. So Cladonia belongs to Cladoniaceae, and among all the lichens which produces dye, mostly Cladoniaceae, Parmeliaceae are the very common genera, very common family of lichen that produces most of the lichen species actually belong to either Parmeliaceae or this Cladoniaceae. No other families are also present, but mostly these are the majority of the lichens belong to this family. Next is the Cetraria brownsiana. This belongs to Parmeliaceae. This foliose lichen is also called sea storm lichen, and this is mostly found in the temperate region of Southeast Asia, and it produces different color of dye. In India also it is found, and this dye is mostly olive green and different shades of green, even ivory yellow and different shades of yellow, and atranonin, it is responsible for the coloring in Cetraria. Earlier, Bryonia, we discussed, Bryonia, the coloring material was vulpinic acid. Now, Evernia prunastri. Evernia prunastri, also called the oak moss or the staghorn lichen, it is a shrubby Fructicos lichen, and this Fructicos lichen, Evernia prunastri, apart from being used as a dye material, it is also used in making perfume in the European countries. So the dye obtained is different shades of yellow and lilac, and the coloring material is menagerie. Menagerie, actually the lichen, the color material obtained from this lichen is either by ammonia or water method. So it produces a wide variety of color: lilac, yellow, pink, and even certain shades of burgundy also. Now, next is the Evernia mesomorpha. Now, Evernia mesomorpha, it is a coriaceous, that is, it is a saxicolous, that is a bark growing lichen, and this is found both preferring both coniferous as well as hardwood trees. So basically it is growing both on acidic or basic bark. So it does not have any preference for the pH of the bark. So Evernia mesomorpha generally found in the North America, that is the New World, and this species is very tolerant to pollution. Evernia mesomorpha, it produces variety of colors depending upon the type of process the dye is obtained. And so I'll be discussing about the detail about the various type of how different type of dye production can change the color that we obtain from a particular lichen in the second part of this video. So next is the Everniastrum cirrhatum. So Everniastrum, earlier it was called the Hypotrachina cirrhata. Earlier it was called, but now it is called Everniastrum cirrhatum. This Everniastrum cirrhatum, it is actually it is very concentrated shade, right? And then we obtain dye from it, and this is found in a wide range of condition, that is the very cold condition in the Himalayas, as well as the dry, hot and humid type of climate in the Central America and the Mexico. So this is Evernia cirrhatum. Then is the Flavoparmelia capyrata. Flavoparmelia capyrata is also commonly called as the green shield lichen. Now, this green shield lichen, they prefer growing both on the bark of the tree as well as on the rock. This is a Flavoparmelia is a foliose lichen, and it is indicator species of disturbed forest, and it is also at the same time pollution tolerant. So apart from being used as a dye, Flavoparmelia capyrata is also a ecological indicator of the environmental conditions. So next is Flavoparmelia flaventio. This lichen, also foliose lichen, gives a variety of color like magenta to purple. Then is the Lazalia. Lazalia, it produces purple dye. The Lazalia, it belongs to the family Umbilicariaceae. Also, Umbilicariaceae family is also a major family as far as dyes are concerned in lichen. So, Lazalia is a foliose lichen that is mostly found growing on the rocks in the temperate region of Europe and South America. Then is the Lecanora. Lecanora paliscens, earlier it was called Ochrolachia paliscens. Commonly, Lecanora paliscens is called Merrill's ream. Merrill's ream because of the special type of apothecia. Lecanora paliscens, it is grows on either bark or cork of old trees. This is a triboxeous lichen, which means that the photosynthetic partner is Triboxia algae. So, Lecanora belonging to Lecanoraceae family gives the bright crimson color. And Lecanora tartaria, which is also commonly called the cut-beard lichen. Lecanora tartaria gives rise to bright crimson dye. Then is the Lobaria pulmonary. Lobaria pulmonaria, also called tree lungwort it or lung moss, is used in traditional medicine because of the shape of the lichen that looks like the lung. It is called lungwort, and it was traditionally used in treating various type of lung diseases. So apart from the traditional or ethno-medicinal value, Lobaria pulmonaria is a foliose lichen that is used as a source of dye for dyeing wool as well as leather. So Lobaria pulmonaria is a source of orange dye, and next is the Letharia vulpinea. This is a very important lichen that was used as a poison for poisoning wolf and foxes. But this Letharia vulpinea, if we process the vulpinic acid, it can have various type of medicinal and other type of uses. It becomes less toxic. So Letharia vulpinea is called wolf lichen because of the toxicity towards wolf. This is the Fructicos Lichen that is generally found both in the growing on the coniferous as well as deciduous trees. It prefers mostly the pine trees, and it is a source of yellow, red, brown pigment, and it's mostly present in dry areas. So the Klamath Indian of the California region, these tribal people, they use these dyes for dyeing quills, and they make quill baskets of the quills of various animals. So apart from here we see that apart from textile material, leather, even the quills it can be dyed from the dyes obtained from lichen. Now next is the Letharia Columbiana. This Letharia Columbiana is commonly called as brown-eyed wolf lichen. As we know, all the all the species of Letharia, they have a common vulpinic acid. So these are all toxic towards wolf and foxes, though they are not toxic to other type of animals like, say, for example, rodents or birds. So, but Letharia columbiana, it is found mostly in the very dry region like the Sonoran Desert, Baja California in Mexico, and this variety, Letharia columbiana, this Fruticos Lichen, it is source of variety of colors like magenta, violet, pink, and blue. And next is the Nephromorphosis nephroides. Nephromorphosis nephroides also belonging to the same family Parmeliaceae as that of Letharia. Letharia and Nephromorphosis both belong to family Parmeliaceae. So Nephromorphosis, it is a tetrarioid type of lichen, which means that the photosynthetic partner is the Cetraria. Now, next is the Ochrolacea tartaria. Ochrolacea tartaria, it belongs to Ochrolaceae. Earlier, it was called Ochrolacea tartaria was earlier called Lecanora tartaria, but now it has been changed to family Ochrolaceae. Now, this Christus Lichen is has a very coarse upper surface, and Ochrolacea, apart from other type of Ochrolacea species, this tartaria can be identified by its upper surface. The Christus Lichen has a very coarse, that is a warty upper surface, like just like the tartars. And due to this, it is also called tartar or crab-eyed lichen. Now, this Acrolegia tartaria, it is found to be growing in the temperate region of both North America and Europe, and it is found in growing on the surface of soil or even bark of tree. Then is Patronema nilgiriensis. As the name suggests, we know that Nilgiri, it is found in the southern, Nilgiri is a hilly region in South India. So Patronema nilgiriensis, as well as the Patronema reticulata, these are found in the hilly region of both Nilgiri and in the South India, Garhwal in the Himalaya, and Mexico and South American hilly region in the south of South America, like Argentina. So this Patronema belongs to Parmeliaceae, and the main colorant is electorin. So electorinoic colorant, it is actually dye is obtained by this ammonia type of ammonial method of extraction. Next is the Parmelia succitilis cetraria. Okay, Parmelia saxatilis. Now, Parmelia saxatilis, as the name suggests, Parmelia belong to Parmeliaceae, and this Parmelia saxatilis is a salt-shelled lichen. Also, it is called crotal. Now, crotal, this is a very crotal name is common in this Parmeliaceae type of lichen in the Scotland, and this crotal Parmelia saxatilis is called little crotal. Parmelia amphiceloides is called dark crotal. So many species of Parmelia have this crotal as a common name, and they belong to Parmeliaceae. So this Parmelia saxatilis or little crotal is a crustose lichen, and it is mostly found either in the temperate region of Europe, also in the very high temperature condition of Sonoran. So we can see that all the species of Parmelia, they have a wide range of temperature condition on which it can grow. And Parmelia, all the species, they generally have a wide range of substratum also on which it can grow. Like it can grow on rock, it can grow on bark, and they can grow both in partial shade as well as direct sunlight. So this Parmelia saxatilis, it generally gives yellow or purple color depending upon the process of extraction we are using. Then is the Patronema tinctoria. Patronema tinctoria is a foliose lichen and belonging to, of course, Parmeliaceae, and this generally grows on rock and tree bark, and also they are grown a very wide range of condition, like they grow on moist place, in the temperate region, and also in the desert region like Sonoran and Baja California. So this foliose lichen, Parmotrema tinctoria, it is a source of brown, pink or orange dye. Next is the Platysmatia. Now, Platysmatia is called rag lichen, and it is found on the Pacific as well as the Atlantic coast of North America. So we can say that Platysmatia, it obtains its major source of moisture from the ocean fog that it obtains during the night time. So this Platysmatia, this is a preferring either on the trunk or bark of trees, or it can be present in the dry rocky region also. So this wide range of habitat, and the photosynthetic partner is Ribauxia, and this Patrotrima tinctoria, it is a source of various type of dyes depending upon color, like orange, brown, yellow, and it is a very traditional dye in Europe. Now next is Punctalia rudacta. Punctalia rudacta is called rough speckled shield lichen or speckled back shield lichen. This is a foliose lichen belonging to Parmelias. And now this Punctalia rudacta gives black, brown, pink, buff, and olive, and a variety of dye shades from this Punctalia rudacta. And next is Ramalina scopulorum and Ramalina fastigata. Ramalina scopulorum and Ramalina fastigata, these lichens belong to Ramaliaceae. Ramalina scopulorum is called rock lichen or bush lichen because of the cartilaginous nature of the lichen. And Ramalina fasticata, both the Ramalina, they are Fructicos Lichen, they are bushy in appearance, and both this Ramalina scopulorum and fasticata, they share the same type of distribution, that is, they are found in the temperate region of Asia, Europe, and North America. Both these are growing on bark of trees, but Ramalina fastigata, they prefer basic bark. Then is the Rochella tinctoria. Rochella tinctoria, it is actually a very important lichen, because Rochella tinctoria, it is a source of litmus dye. Litmus dye is obtained by ammonia fermentation method. Now, this Rochella tinctoria, we obtain the main dyeing material. It is what to say? It is ursin. So it is for this reason it is also called the Orchel lichen. Next is the Umbilicaria. Now Umbilicaria, this is belonging to Umbilicariaceae. Umbilicaria lichen, it is mainly gives magenta or purple dye, and this Umbilicaria belonging to Umbilicariaceae is a crustose lichen, also called by the common name of rock tripe. And this rock tripe is very commonly found in the Mediterranean region. Next is the Umbilicaria. Umbilicaria too we have. The next is the Usnea barbata. So Usnea barbata, along with other species, all the species of Usnea, they are very sensitive to pollution, so they are mostly found in the region where there is less pollution. So they are growing on bark, and they prefer temperate climate. Usnea, they have a general name of beard lichen because they resemble the beard of very old men. So they can attain great height. These are pendulent Fruticos Lichen. They can grow to great lengths if not disturbed. So Asnia barbata, it gives a variety of colors like orange, yellow, green, purple, mm, and it is mostly textile dye, Asnia barbata. Apart from Asnia barbata, Asnia longissima. This is also, as the name suggests, belongs to uh, Asniaceae, and these are also have the same type of habitat as that of Asnia barbata, and Asnia stigmatoides also have the same type of habitat. Next is the Xanthoparmia. Xanthoparmia, it is Xanthoparmelia is a very special type of lichen because this Xanthoparmelia, it is very much tolerant to heavy metal and pollution, and also this Xanthoparmelia, all the species of Xanthoparmelia, they are very tolerant to heavy metal pollution, so and also they are tolerant to dry conditions. So here we see Xanthoria paritiana. This Xanthoria paritiana, it is also generally found growing on fence posts, on the stone wall, and even any undisturbed region in the urban area also. Xanthoparmelia paritiana. And lavender, pink and red dye is obtained from Xanthoparmelia. So this is the with this I come to the end of my video, but this video will be followed by another video, because here in this video I have just dealt with few lichens and their habitat, their climatic preferences, and the substratum on which it grows, and the type of dyes that we obtain from this lichen. But in the next video I'll be discussing about the three processes by which we can obtain the dye, like the ammonia hydroxide, dimethyl sulfoxide, and the boiling water method. In the next video I'll be discussing these in detail, and how the difference in the process of the dye extraction causes alternation in the color of dye from the same lichen. So please do also see that video. I'll be making that video soon. So thank you for watching the video. Please like the video and share it with your friends, and subscribe to get more such videos regarding algae, lichen, fungi. So thank you.